Hi, just talking about kind of like when I did the switch to veganism, what it actually is and what you thought it was like are definitely different. Like, I remember for the longest time thinking that if you were a bigger, stronger person, it wouldn't be possible to sustain yourself on a vegan diet. I thought that it's like something you could live on, but you couldn't thrive on. And then when I heard about Carl Lewis, I thought, well, maybe you can have a lot of energy and be really fast and explosive, but you can't be like really big and strong. And then of course I saw the thing on Patrick Bobemium, or however you say his name. And I'm like, okay, I guess I was wrong. But I had no idea how much vegans could eat. It seemed like really restricted and really extreme from the outside perspective. And yet, when I did it, I mean, granted, people do put an unreasonable amount of butter and cheese in a lot of things. So, like if you go to a normal restaurant or you go to a friend's house and they're cooking stuff, there are many times when you won't be able to eat what they're making. So it does restrict you a lot that way. Vegetarianism would obviously be a lot easier because it seems like butter and cheese are the two things that are the most prevalent and around the most, and the ones you have to be the most careful about avoiding. It doesn't seem like anything else is so bad, but man, they put butter and cheese in everything. But when you're making your own stuff, like when you're not with friends and whatnot, it's not that hard to just go pick up stuff and have a lot of creative solutions and a lot of good tasting solutions, and there's a lot available to you as a vegan. It's a whole lot better than something like a raw food diet where there would be a whole lot more restrictions, because you can have like all these different kinds of breads and pastas and beans and rice. Like, having the ability to cook and whatnot gives you a lot of options. So yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. Like, my own personal experience was not similar to any of the other vegans I've seen on the YouTube fitness channels. Like, they all talk about how it was easy and how they got more energy and felt better and started doing better at everything they used to. That didn't happen with me. Basically, what I did was crash and burn for 3 months. It was really painful. I had studied enough things as I was going into veganism that it was something I didn't want to quit. I already had quit vegetarian. I went vegetarian at the very beginning of 2015 and only stuck it out about 4 or 5 months, and then I gave up because I didn't want to feel like crap and be unhealthy and sick all the time, and that's what was happening. So this time I tried to approach it correctly so that wouldn't happen again, but I still was having a lot of problems and I lost a lot of strength. I think I mentioned some videos where my squats and deadlifts went from using over 405, like I think I was around 435 or something, because due to aging and kind of being in a slump, I was a far cry from where I was previous years, but that was about where I was before I started my veganism. And it dropped down so far that I couldn't even do 225. I couldn't even put 245s on each side of the bar and squat or deadlift it. I was junk. My back was hurt, my neck was stiff. There was a lot of things, and you may have saw in the really old videos, the first videos on my channel, that I was focusing on all the things like my B12 and zinc and calcium and vitamin D and iron and all the things that could be issues. So in spite of that, I still was having problems. But my friend and we troubleshot stuff, and after 3 months I finally got out of the slump and started doing good. And I can't give you all these super awesome positive reviews like these other channels where I'm like, I have more energy than ever, I feel better than ever, I'm breaking all my PRs, I'm stronger than ever. But the good thing I can tell you is I am the same as I was before. I'm not weaker, I'm not skinnier. I'm back to where I was. When I first started, I lost weight, but I'm back in the 215 to 220 area, which is where I like to be. I like to be between 210 and 220. That's my happy place, my comfort place. I don't want to be a big, huge, massive man because I don't think it's good for my joints and organs, and I don't want to be scrawny and weak. Not saying that people under 210 are scrawny and weak, but for my specific body type and my specific lifestyle desires and whatnot, I like to be above 210. It matches my desires and all that really, really well. So I can say that I pretty much feel exactly the same as I did before crashing and burning. Like my squat and deadlift is back around the low 400s, like 425, 435. So definitely not happy with that, because when I was younger things were a lot closer to 500. But you know, I think that's just part of being a guy in his early 40s. And I'll see what I can do about at least getting it back to 455, because that's at least somewhat respectable, but right now it's not. And the eating part, like I mentioned, the butter and the cheese is annoying when you go to friends' houses or when you go out to eat places, because they put butter and cheese on everything. But it's not hard when you're making your own food to go vegan. Especially here in Maui, we have some really, really great health food stores with a lot of local grown produce and whatnot, and we have some real vegan friendly places and quite a few vegetarian places that are super knowledgeable about what veganism is and can easily change all their vegetarian dishes into vegan dishes. It's really nice that way. And even if you didn't have all that, it's not hard to go into a normal grocery store and pick up things and make good vegan things. It's nice having the internet. There's so much knowledge at our disposal now. You can just look things up. So for those of you who might be thinking about going vegan, hopefully you don't have a body type like mine that crashes and burns at first. I don't think I'm the only one that has this purging period, because the Light Twins mentioned it in one of their videos, and maybe the Hodge twins kind of went through that. I don't know. But I can tell you personally, for me, that if you can keep tweaking things until you stop feeling like crap and start feeling good, you basically feel like the same person. Maybe not. Maybe you'll be lucky like all these other people and have more energy and feel stronger and beat your PRs. But the good news is that even if you don't have that good case scenario, my scenario where things didn't go as well as everyone else was still good, because you're still the same as you were before, but you feel better about your choices. You feel like, okay, I'm not contributing to global warming as much, I'm not contributing to negative CO2 emissions as much, I'm not contributing to deforestation of the rainforest as much, I'm not contributing to the torture and pain and death of all these animals like before. Like, you feel good about it. It makes you sleep better at night. So just throwing that out there, that maybe not everyone has the same experience, but the cool thing is, even people like me that don't have this amplified experience and all this extra energy and strength still feel the same as we did before. I don't feel weaker and more anemic as a vegan. And the cool thing about the weights is the numbers don't lie. So like, the scale reads the same, I look in the mirror and see the same thing, and the weights I'm playing with are the same. So it's not like it's my biased view of, oh, I just think I'm good and I'm saying it because I like veganism and I'm trying to support it. The numbers actually are the same, and you can't argue with that.